Wells Fargo, MacArthur, OFN, your selection committee, thank you. We are honored. I stand here tonight enormously proud to have been part of an industry-shaping effort to infuse economic opportunity into an emerging clean energy economy. I should not be standing here alone. Enterprise Cascadia is part of a growing number of organizations and people who believe our nation's and our globe's response to climate change cannot just be about greenhouse gases. This movement of thinkers, activists, bridge builders, practitioners, funders, policymakers is, like ourselves, resolved that the clean energy economy will be an opportunity economy. In the room with us this evening are Green for All, Living Cities, Northwest Natural Resources Group, Pacific Power, 10 CDFIs that make up the Triple Bottom Line Collaborative, and the staff and board members of Enterprise Cascadia. We share this recognition with all of you. Enterprise Cascadia is being recognized this evening with the next award for our early adoption of tactics that invest opportunity into clean energy initiatives. Clean Energy Works in Portland, Community Power Works in Seattle are demonstrating how energy efficiency is not the prerogative of well-off early adopters who can afford to be concerned. Indeed, a narrow slice of the market will not move the climate change needle. If we care about moving that needle, we must care about doing it at the bottom, middle, and top of the pyramid. Enterprise Cascadia and its many collaborators are saying that climate change is not a myth. We are saying that the inevitable policies that tax, cap, and penalize contributing to the greenhouse gas problem will disproportionately impact the poorest among us. And we are saying that a new economic driver in America will be clean energy, and that if we act now together, the clean energy economy can advantage instead of disadvantage those who find themselves on the margin of opportunity instead of at the center. The work of Enterprise Cascadia, recognized by the next award, is a consumer loan that averages $12,000. This consumer loan has some attributes that make it worthy of being next. First, the loan is one piece, the capital piece, of a larger system that makes getting energy efficient easy instead of hard. Clean Energy Works is a system and a process, and Enterprise is doing what all CDFIs do best, capital delivery. We are aggregating fragmented capital resources and taking reasonable risk in the process of doing so, because fragmented financing and delivery systems do not scale. It takes a lot of $12,000 loans to move the needles that we are determined to move. Second, this consumer loan is being recognized because it is inclusive by design. We are underwriting utility payment histories, not credit histories, to make a fast and efficient credit decision via a robust IT platform in about 30 minutes. Loan servicing via the borrower's utility bill means that cash savings created from energy savings is covering most of the debt service. Sending that same savings in the form of principal and interest to the utility company instead of us mitigates repayment risk. But let me be clear. By inclusive, we mean it works just the same, just as fast, just as fairly for people with a 790 FICO as it does for families with a 590. It is a single, balanced, inclusive portfolio that, taken together, is a marketable portfolio of asset-backed securities delivering about 5% ROI. This balance will get us to secondary markets and through those markets to true regional scale and the depth of outcomes we seek. Third, Clean Energy Works is worthy of this recognition because each and every loan output produces outcomes beyond efficiency. Yeah, we reduce greenhouse gases by about 1 metric ton per year per house. Some other outcomes matter just as much. They include targeted jobs paying on average $25.19 per hour, with career paths for trained people ready to work and worthy of receiving just compensation and good benefits for their work. 73% of these jobs today include healthcare, and 51% are held by people of color. And these outcomes also include business startups and growth for women and minority-owned firms entering the clean energy economy at the earliest stages, when we can pull a string, instead of after that economy has matured and we were left only with a string to push. I want to take this opportunity to ask each and every one of you to reflect on what a clean energy economy can offer your constituents and your organizations. If you're a rural practitioner, think about turning the Rural Electrification Act of 1936 on its head and look to begin exporting renewable energy produced from your manure, wood waste, crops, water, waves, and wind. And make sure that the cash flows from doing so accrue to the well-being of your community. That's what Enterprise Cascadia did when we worked with Wells Fargo to finance a 5-megawatt, 4-turbine wind farm in a little 2-dot town called Grayland, Washington. A cap agency owns this power plant, sends the juice to Seattle, and captures $750,000 a year to finance expanded service delivery to low-income families. We are delivering community assets and green power. I'm very pleased to share the news that Wells will leverage their investment in the Grayland Wind Farm to provide the resources necessary to produce a third-party case statement so this project can be replicated throughout rural America. And if you're an urban practitioner, think about creating new energy resources by reducing energy consumption in the built environment. Clean Energy Works, Community Power Works are an available model to replicate. Or begin with the sector that the community development industry already owns, that we already have a seat at the table for. And that's the thousands of assisted housing units and the millions of square feet of commercial and industrial real estate that we have so competently and efficiently financed. And then focus your capital on the manufacturing sector and claim a piece of this growing segment for your stakeholders. Clean energy is the new terms of engagement between rural and urban America. Cities need the energy that rural America can produce. Rural landscapes can absorb CO2 that cities inevitably emit. Climate change and the clean energy economy can reinvigorate a once strong and functional rural-urban compact around economic exchange and mutual self-interest. As an investment in this renewed compact, Enterprise is making this OFN convening carbon neutral. Our shared and inevitable climate impacts here in the big city of San Francisco are being brokered by Northwest Natural Resources Group here with us tonight, to be offset by family foresters in rural Washington who manage their trees for the economic returns derived from both lumber and carbon. As we sit here tonight, we are connecting urban and rural interests within a defined region. Climate change is real, and it's huge. Most of those at the climate table believe that reducing greenhouse gas emissions are sufficient ends to justify the tens, even hundreds of billions of dollars that will be generated through inevitable policy change called carbon taxes or cap and trade. What I really want this recognition of Enterprise Cascadia and its collaborators to say is this. Climate change is the driver of new policy. This new policy and the economy it defines and drives is the next big opportunity for the excluded. This new policy must be infused with the as yet unfulfilled promises contained in the Civil Rights and Economic Opportunity Acts of 1964. CDFIs and new partners like Green for All must begin today to acquire the shared experience to build collaborations to ensure that climate policy is not just about climate. There is still time, but like energy, none to waste. Thank you.